Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Living and Loving with yours truly, Monique McCall, country music artist, singer, songwriter. And today, I have a beautiful gift of a human. Wow, I'm so happy she could be here today. Competitive and professional ice skater, 6-time U.S. national competitor, the 2012 U.S. national pairs champion. Wow. And the 2016, and she's over here laughing and smiling, 2016 U.S. national pairs Pewter medalist, and most recently, home and back to the beautiful state of Michigan after skating her way around the world as a Disney professional ensemble, Disney on Ice tour skater, and a beautiful person with the heart of gold with strong Midwestern values. Please welcome today to share her story. A young 23 years old has done all this, Miss Madeleine Gallagher. Thanks so much for joining me today, Madeleine.
Thanks for having me and that amazing introduction. Oh my gosh.
No, I am so in awe of everything you've done. You've been all over. You're only 23 years old. You've done all this already, and I'm looking forward to hearing what's next for you. But let's jump right in and just find out where all this began, and how you've been out living, loving as a competitive and professional ice skater. I know that you began at the young age of 4 years old. So how does that happen that you're 4 years old and you say, Mom, Dad, I want to be an ice skater?
I love beginning my story because it's the weirdest beginning you can honestly put to end up being a Disney princess in the end. But my grandfather and both my cousins were hockey players, and I wanted to be a hockey player too. So I was gonna, become a goalie just like my grandfather. I was gonna do it. And then I found out they didn't wear the pretty dresses, and then that dream just went out the window. So that's how it started.
You're the ultimate tomboy with the Disney princess influence.
It truly was. And so for a while I said I could be a spinning goalie, maybe. I could do the spins and I realized it wouldn't work. It was a pipe dream.
But how did you come to hockey to begin with?
I just watched my grandfather do it, and I would watch my cousins at their games. Mm-hmm. And I decided, yes, that is what I'm going to do. Nope. And so I joined the Learn to Skate program through U.S. Figure Skating at my local arena in Bay City, where I'm from. And I loved it. I actually, for a while, would just lay on the ice till I got someone's attention to pick me back up. It made the news. It made the front page, literally, of me. It's fall season. It was titled. It was beautiful. But soon I realized I got on my feet, and I realized how much I actually loved skating. And so I trained in Bay City till I was about 8 or 9. And then my coaches started telling me I had to intensify my training and start going to Detroit. And so I started traveling to Detroit almost every day to keep training. And when I was 11, that's when I found my pair partner, Jonathan Horton. And we actually became a pair team for almost 6 seasons. And now I'm actually standing up on his wedding. He's getting married to his boyfriend. So I'm so happy to be his bridesmaid. It's been a journey for us. And so I competed all the way up till 2016, which was my last season. And I was still in school. I was a senior in high school. And I heard that Disney on Ice was coming through town in Saginaw at the Dow Event Center. And so I asked my math teacher if I could possibly take a quick break from the test, and I would take it after school that same day, but if I could leave because I had an audition. And so I got there. My mom actually had to sign a release form for me because I was underage. I was 17, and I took from there. It was sparks. You knew when I was auditioning, the music, the scenery, you knew it's what you wanted, because honestly, in my competitive career, I loved performing more than anything. Competing gave me a lot of anxiety.
So you always knew, kind of, once you got out on that ice, you knew that this is where you wanted to be. This was kind of home for you?
Oh, it absolutely. I love the feeling of, it's almost like flying, it's spectacular. And until you realize sometimes you are on knife boots on ice and sometimes you fall over. But other than that, it's really beautiful.
Now, I know it takes so much training. My daughter, my oldest daughter, she was training to be a figure skater until she crossed over and started taking ballet lessons and fell in love with dance and then left skating, which I was kind of bummed about because I really enjoyed, going to the rink and watching her skate. But, skating is such a tough sport. It is so tough. And not everybody has that special talent. I mean, when did your coaches and your parents realize that you really, really, really had the gift to compete and to go to a professional level?
It started when I was young, and that I had the determination and there wasn't a fear factor. I wasn't afraid to fall. That's where you really start to separate kids from the pack there. When you notice if some of them, that fear factor, a lot of them can't go for it. But luckily,
well, that's really beautiful. Let me stop you there for a moment, because that's so much about the dialogue that I have here on Living and Loving. And you have discovered this at such a young age, this fear of falling. So there's the literal fear of falling, but there's also, the emotional and the mental fear of falling. And do you feel that when you combine those two and you just had no fear across the board, that's when the success came?
It truly was. And I had to continually train at the mental fear of falling, that mental, but what if I fly, but oh my dear, what if I fall, but oh my dear, what if you fly? I had to keep telling myself
beautiful
that.
Quote.
It is.
And boy, did you fly, because how old were you? 2012. I'd have to do the math. I'm not that quick. You were the national parish champion.
Yeah, I was 13, 14. Oh my gosh. And then I was 17 when I finished my last season. So
now what did that feel like? I mean, you were so young, you're in high school. I'm sure you gave up so much. I mean, it all sounds beautiful in theory, but I'm sure you gave up so many things that, children are used to doing throughout their, their educational career.
Yep.
How does that feel for you now when you look back?
So actually, I was going to say, so when I won my national title, I was in the 8th grade, and I won that night. It actually happened to be in Michigan, in Lansing. It was amazing. My heart was so filled. And then I had to go to school, middle school, the very next day, all day, math test. I looked like, and no one else knew. I looked like any other normal middle schooler, braces, bangs. And I had the award ceremony that night, and I was just sitting there doing this math test going like, I'm about to get like a national trophy, and I'm sitting here. So you realize it was a give and take. And actually going to school, I always stayed in school, is what kept me grounded as a person. As soon as you kind of hit that competitive part of your life that gets so intense, having that normality around you is what keeps you sane. It really does. Keeps you grounded as a person, and you're not getting too lost in the sauce of the competition world.
And I think that's where a lot of people do get lost. They don't realize that it is a give and take. And, there's sacrifices that have to be made in everything. Nothing's perfect, but it can be perfect for you. And it sounds like it was absolutely perfect for you, because that is the space that you were able to fly, not only emotionally, but actually you were literally flying. I'm sure as you went on tour with Disney as an ensemble theater, 17 years old, you audition, you get a call the summer after you graduate high school. This had to be your ultimate dream. And now you're flying high with Disney. And I understand you truly did fly, because there's so many special effects in these shows. And you were Tinkerbell, and I know she has wings.
Yeah, I portrayed the role of Tinkerbell, and yeah, we have a harness, and we actually have a fly segment in the show, and it was a little scary at first. I'm not gonna lie, but it was. You really were flying. You can't beat that moment where thousands and thousands of people are cheering for you, and you're flying in the air dressed as Tinkerbell. It was a lot to process, but it was definitely a good memory.
I can only imagine, I've been fortunate to fly in so many ways, but not literally. But if I did have a superpower, I think that would probably
me too.
be it.
Me too, definitely.
I think so many little girls dream, their dream is to be a Disney princess. I know my little one, when they asked her in kindergarten, what she'd like to be, it was and is still a Disney princess. So you are the ultimate Disney princess, and you travel the world. So you've portrayed Tinkerbell, Snow White, who else? Belle. Oh, I love Belle.
And Nala the Lion. I actually played the cub version of her and the adult version of her. But yeah, actually, it truly is an honor to be able to breathe life into these characters that were so important to you, not only to you, but to the children everywhere that come to these shows. You are actually creating that dream that we've all fantasized about. And
you were
bringing that life
making a dream reality for so many people. And what did that feel like for you? What came up for you as you were doing that?
Like I said, I felt very honored to be able to actually portray these beautiful roles, these characters that mean so much and bring empowerment to people and just family fun. But actually, I got a little emotional when I first found out that I was going to be portraying my first role ever, which was Tinkerbell. Actually, that was my first understudy. To put it in words, again, it's the feeling like flying. And then to continue, and training harder and harder and harder and getting all these other understudies and just continuously expanding my character portrayal roles, But it was an honor, and it will be something forever that I'll keep in my heart. I'll tell you that. They'll always be here.
Yeah, I'm sure. So now, with all the beauty of all this, and I can only believe that being a Disney princess isn't as pretty as it looks, because there was so much training and so much that went into that.
So much.
Share a moment where you had to be the Disney princess that overcame.
Well, so you're right. All right, folks. So there's a beauty side to it, and there's also a really tough side. There's a nitty-gritty side to get to this point in your life. It's not all just Disney magic. It requires a lot of hard training, late nights. If my mom is watching this, I want to say thank you for taking me to every practice ever in my life, and for all my skates and skating dresses, and for making me the person I am. But it requires a team too. It requires an entire manager. You're gonna need it all. My mom was all of it. But skates alone, just to afford a pair of skates, a day in a figure skater's training it's intense. You're doing ballet, you're doing aerobics classes, yoga classes, ballroom classes, constant workouts. Sometimes you're training on just the ice 3-4 hours a day, and that's every day. And so overcoming that just to even get my skills was already a huge feat. But when I joined the Disney side, you realize it is a job. It's a job. It's not a lifestyle. It's not a movie. And there's a lot you have to figure out. I mean, I'm this 18-year-old girl who's never been away from, mom and dad. I'm an only child. And I'm just running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to figure out everything and where everything is and where are your fishnets. And wait, do I get on the ice this time? Wait, is this my count? I remember I missed my entrance because I didn't make a quick change quick enough. And I remember the curtains opened and everyone went on, and I didn't finish changing, and I missed my shot. And I just stood there behind that curtain, single tear rolling down. And I had my moment, but then I realized this is showbiz. It's live entertainment. It can't all be perfect. And I had to take that with me. So I think a big feat for me to overcome while working on Disney was realizing that it can't always be perfect, that these characters are perfect, but you are not. So you're going to have to do your best to try to, bring as much, really solid live entertainment as you can.
And I think that's where people really struggle, because a lot of people really strive for perfection. And I think once you can learn to just strive for excellence, now you have something. We need to remember that this isn't, a dress rehearsal. And it's the same thing about life, this is it. You're living it. So get out and do your best and strive for excellence, because that's what we have and that's what we can count on. Most definitely. So
what you do every.
Yeah. So you spent so much time training, rigorously, to get to the beautiful, glorious moment of competing and being at the top of your game and then becoming the Disney princess. And you did give up so much. So even though you had a big audience and you had a team and you had all these people around you, was there ever a time that you felt alone?
Oh my God, I missed my mom and dad every day. I did tour for 4 years and I missed them every day. So sometimes when they actually would drive out or fly out to come and see me in the show, I needed them front row. When my parents first came to see me, I remember hearing them cheer so loudly. And then my whole family just started following suit and coming to cheer me on. But that was a North American tour. And then my second year was Western Europe. And it was 9 months in Western Europe. And, I'm 19. I'm even further away from home. I've never even vacationed outside of America. To this day, I haven't. And it was a huge culture shock. I realized that there's a whole world out there and you're on your own. You got to help yourself out. You'll be able to do your work still. The show's the same, but you realize you need to figure out how to live on your own.
Yeah, so the show must always go on no matter what. That sounds like this is your message here. The show must go on.
It really does. Even if you're having a bad day, you need to know that once you go out there, these children, this is their time. This is their moment. They're the ones that are important here. And I'm simply hoping to brighten their day and their family's day. And you realize that that's all that matters. That if your job is to make people happy and bring families together, it doesn't, the rest washes away, honestly.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's kind of what we're here for anyway in life, We're here to live, love, and, be happy within and bring so much happiness to the world. And you have done that. Yes, and you've done that, and the show must go on. So where is the Madeleine Gallagher show going from here?
The show, I love it. Now I'm going to start referring my life to as the show. I am the superstar. So luckily, actually on tour, I did a lot of PR for them. It's one of the requirements when you are on Disney on Ice to do PR for when the shows come through. But I got so good at it, and I kept getting all these gigs and radio interviews and news interviews and print. And they started giving me as many shots as I wanted at this. And I started to realize I love this. Oh my gosh. My mom spent a lot on these teeth. Man, God love those braces. So I might as well show off my smile.
And they are beautiful teeth because I saw them in person.
Thank you. So I'm actually going back to school. I am living the normal college girl life. Well, college isn't exactly as normal as I planned on. Thank you, pandemic. But I'm actually getting my major in public relations now, and I'm loving it. and I can't wait to actually see where it takes me. Hopefully, you know, I still have my connections with Feld. You know, that's always an option to possibly go back to that. But right now I'm teaching dance at my family dance studio. It's been around for 50 years, celebrating our 50th year anniversary. And I love just being able to come back home and to teach all my students that I never get to see while I'm on tour. And I'm coaching back at my local ice arena where it all started. And I'm just trying to get my feet a little grounded. You know, I'm a junior, so I have 2 more years, but I actually have a few skating projects in the works right now, actually coming up that I'm not at liberty to talk about, but I think some big things are coming around.
You can't do that.
So stay tuned, everybody.
But I bet they're very, very exciting. I have a small idea of what you may be talking about, and I'm so sorry we can't share that today live.
Hey, I'll be back, guys. I'll tell you the rest later.
So I know you're not going to hang up the skates, though, for good, even though you are at the university and you're living probably somewhat of a normal as far as the term states life. And that must have been such a big transition for you coming off tour at such a young age. But I bet you are loving this.
I love it. I don't have to live out of 2 suitcases. Guys, you don't understand how amazing a closet is. A toaster made me excited, okay? So yes, it was a big change, I'll tell you that. And like, I get to wake up and like, oh, I'm home, I'm here, I'm not in a different city. When you wake up sometimes and you're like, wait, what city did we travel to last night, like after the show? So it's nice to just kind of wake up and, you know, I can see my friends, my family, and just kind of enjoy, you know, being me. I realized there was a lot that I needed to work on. I found out, you know, after tour ended, I mean, I've skated since I was 4. I needed to realize skating isn't who I am. It was a part of me. So this break has actually given me a chance to actually delve into myself and figure out who I am as a person. And I am loving her.
And so then tell us, who is Madeleine Gallagher?
Who is A lot, I'll tell you that, a lot. But Madeleine Gallagher is a show-loving, show-tune-loving girl who has a terrible voice, is a great tap dancer, loves chocolate chip cookies. So that tells you enough about me already. And I realized I love my sense of humor, and I love, you know, living my life, loving and living.
And she's living and loving, and she's doing what we should all be doing. Thank you so much for joining me today, Madeleine. You are fantastic. I know you have an amazing, incredible road ahead, and your show is going to go on. It's going to go on, and I know we're going to hear more great things from you in the future. But with that said, before I let you go, I have one question I ask all of my guests.
Okay.
Country music singer-songwriter, I always like to know what one song, and I know it's tough to choose, what one song speaks to your heart and sums up the essence of your being.
Oh, wow, that is a good one. I feel like I'm gonna be cheesy and say Rolling Stone, but
wow, I thought it was going to be a Disney song.
No, I sing those every day at work. Are you kidding me? Oh, At Last I See the Light is actually a really good one. Maybe I would say that. I do love Rapunzel. Oh, okay, maybe. Yeah. All right. At Last I See the Light. I actually do love that song from Rapunzel.
At Last I See the Light. Can you sing a little for me? Come on, just give us a little bit. What is?
And at last I see the light. And then Flynn Rider shows up, right? I'm waiting for the part where that Flynn Rider guy shows up if I sing the rest of this song. I think that's all I got, though. That's all I got out of it. I don't sing.
I think he's on his way. And you know what? You have seen the light. And you're right there basking in it. So continue to bask in the light. Continue to live in love. And thank you so much for joining me today. Such a blessing.
Thank you.
I'm living and loving. So everyone, Madeleine Gallagher, competitive professional ice skater, an absolute champion, an incredible human, beautiful Midwestern girl, strong Midwestern values. Remember, don't be afraid to fall. Don't look for perfection. Continue to strive for excellence. And the show must go on, and the show always will. You can catch me here every Thursday, 4 p.m. My name is Monique McCall, country music artist, singer, songwriter. Thank you so much for joining me. Get out, live, love. Big hugs for y'all. Thank you so much, Madeleine. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.